We're live from Chevy Chase.
Welcome back. It's time for our morning chat, and today we're talking about my favorite thing, books. Kentucky author Doris Settles joins us today to talk about her new book, Kentucky and the War of 1812, the Governor, the Farmers, and the Pig. Welcome to the show, Doris.
Thank you, Tim.
Yes, okay, so we were talking earlier about superstitions and whether or not people are superstitious. That's our question of the day. So let me ask you, because I know writers can be a superstitious bunch. Do you have any superstitions surrounding your writing process?
I really don't, and I don't really have a, from 10 to 12 or 6 to 12 or whatever. I just write whenever I have the time and I feel the urge.
Okay.
So I can't say that I really have any superstitions. However, in the 1812 book, there is a period that discusses, or a section that discusses superstitions of Native Americans and the pioneers.
Okay.
In 1811 and 12, when the New Madrid earthquakes happened, and there was an eclipse around the same time, and Tecumseh was trying to rally other tribes to join his pan-Indian confederacy, which would push back against the movement west of European settlement. And the pioneers saw it as a sign as well.
Sure.
That they needed to it came on the heels of the Second Enlightenment, where there was a lot of movement toward following the Bible and following being a better person. And so that's how they saw it. The Native Americans saw it as, we better get with the program and go with Tecumseh. So his confederation got much, much stronger.
Okay, so there was superstition going way back then. So what made you get interested in the War of 1812? It's a little different.
Pig.
Oh, and I do love the way you're dressed, by the way.
Yes.
This is not everyday wear in Kentucky, so you look adorable. But please tell us about this pig.
In 1813, there had been two major massacres. Well, first of all, Kentucky has a huge connection to the War of 1812. Over 80% of Kentucky men that were eligible for the military in 1812 fought in the War of 1812.
Wow.
So 4 out of every 5 males, Kentucky males, fought in the War of 1812.
Yeah.
Over 66% of the people who were killed in the War of 1812 were Kentuckians.
Wow.
So I mean, if your family's been in Kentucky since the 1800s, you have an ancestor that fought in the War of 1812, likely.
Interesting.
But about 10 years ago, I was sitting at I was on a board for a Young Writers program, and somebody told the pig story, and I thought, that can't be real. That just can't be real. So I started researching it and was just fascinated. And the more I learned about the War of 1812, the more fascinated I became by the whole engagement that Kentucky had. So in 1813, there were 2 massacres that happened. Over 1,000 Kentuckians were killed in those 2 massacres.
Wow.
And the Governor Shelby, who was both the 1st and the 5th governor of Kentucky, and he'd been recruited, he did not want to be governor again, but he had been recruited to be governor because the War of 1812 was coming. He went to the legislature and said, I need to go get revenge for this.
Yes.
So the legislature said, fine, you can lead troops into battle. Still the only sitting governor to ever lead troops into battle. So he asked for 1,000 Kentuckians to meet him at Newport and march up to Canada. When he got there, there were 4,000 Kentuckians. But while the troops were waiting, as men will do, they were looking for things to bet on. And there were 2 pigs fighting in the street over some kind of food. And so they gathered around and started betting on one or the other and encouraging them. Exactly. And one pig was victorious, and so they fed that pig more, and they kind of adopted it while they were there as a pet. In that time, livestock was not penned up. It just wandered around anywhere. So when it comes time, Governor Shelby shows up, it's time to get on the boats and go across the Ohio. So the pig tries to go with them, and they're all like, go home, pig. Just leave him alone, he'll go home. So they get on the boat and say, start over. And they look in the water. The pig swam the Ohio River.
Oh, my goodness.
This is some pig.
All the way to Canada with them.
I put my money on this pig, too.
I know.
And I had 3 ancestors on that march.
Did you really? See, history just comes comes alive when you talk about specific
Yes.
stories
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, you make it interesting.
So I can't wait to read this book, but you haven't just written this book, you've got other books. You're also a master gardener. Talk
am.
about your children's book that you've written.
I've gardened since I was a child. I learned to garden from both my grandmothers. Neither of my parents had any interest in gardening at all. If you looked at pictures of the houses I grew up in, they had the requisite 3 shrubs.
Yes.
That's it. So I would spend most of every summer with my mother's mother and go visit my father's mother as well, who both had extensive gardens. So I learned to garden from them, but I would go home to this dearth
Right.
of anything.
Lee's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lee's house.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So I started gardening in Chicago, which is a very different climate than Kentucky,
Right.
where my grandmothers were. But I learned a lot through that, and I had a neighbor who was an avid gardener, and she helped me design stuff, learn how to, you don't just buy a plant and pop it in the ground next to another plant that ought to be somewhere else.
It takes a little bit more than
It
that.
does.
Yeah,
It does. A design helps.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
And at 12 and 13, I had no design sets.
Yes.
Well, we love this. We're going to have to
Lee
get these
needs to read
books.
this book.
I'm going to read it from beginning to end. You're going to teach me, Doris. Thank you. You're a great Kentuckian. We love that you write. We love what you're bringing to the table. And we know you've got some book signings coming up. So we're going to put that information up on the screen. Tell us you'll come back sometime.
I'd be happy to.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you again.